Hello, I hope all of you are well and happy and enjoying another fine day. Thank you for attending. My name is Brenda Eves and I'm a graduate student at Lamar University majoring in criminal justice. I'm here to present a proposal for a program evaluation for two of Windham School District's educational programs. The two programs involved are the GED, or General Education Development Program, and Changes, which is an acronym for Changing Habits and Achieving New Goals to Empower Success, which are currently offered through the TDCJ Windham School District. While everyone is fairly familiar with the GED program, which allows students who did not successfully complete high school gain a high school equivalency certification, a less familiar program to community leaders and the community at large is the Changes program. The Changes program, like the GED program, is part of the offender's individual treatment plans, whereas the GED program prepares students in basic educational curriculum such as reading and comprehension, social studies, science and math. The Changes program focuses on life skills studies including personal development, healthy relationships, budget planning, emotional issues, how to acquire and keep a job, and even basic computer skills. The objective of this proposed evaluation is to explore the possibility that Changes might be best offered to offenders with lower education achievement scores instead of GED courses. With tight budgets and time constraints to consider, preparing offenders to re-enter society as productive members of the community, would it not be better serve the community, the offender, and the goals of the Windham School District to give the offenders the tools they need to live as law-abiding, potentially upstanding members of the community? According to data gleaned from WSD's records, educational assessment, or EA, scores of offenders are raised only a few grade levels during incarceration via the GED courses. This type of achievement does very little to help offenders obtain and maintain jobs with livable wages. In the real world, a high school diploma is little more than a checkbox on an application. If parolees do not know how to look for a job, do not know how to fill out an application, cannot make and follow a budget, open a checking account, pay their bills, or build lasting successful relationships with their family, friends, and co-workers, even the highest EA scores serve no useful purpose. If the offenders come to prison with little or no formal education, improving their EA scores incrementally would not be beneficial to the offender or the communities footing the bill. The evaluation could be done in minimalist style using select parolees from release to 3 years post-incarceration. The parolees would be divided into two groups: those who completed GED courses and Changes, and those who only completed Changes courses. The progress of each group would be graphed over a period of 3 years with measurements of variables including job acquisition, job retention, and pay scales. These will further be compared to the offender's existing EA scores. Parole and education records of the participants, as well as entry and exit EA scores, will be gathered by the evaluation team. Initial and progress reviews will be conducted by parole officers at 6-month intervals and provided to the evaluation team for analysis. Offenders will be asked to complete a simple questionnaire at each evaluation meeting. These will be sent to the evaluation team as well. At the end of the program, offenders will be asked to complete an automated telephonic interview, which will allow them to give a more subjective evaluation of their own successes and whether they attributed those successes to the GED program or the Changes program. For offenders who completed only Changes, they will be able to express their opinions about the Changes program itself, weaknesses, and strengths. While we should not expect a high level of participation, we should be able to collect enough data to scientifically establish a result as to which of the two programs was more helpful. Research from the Illinois prison systems shows that the cost of incarcerating a single adult in prison for 1 year was 4 times as expensive as a year of kindergarten for a child. The best way to reduce such costs is to reduce redundant or unnecessary class offerings, as well as enhancing the effectiveness of the program offerings to prevent recidivism. Public opinion is often at odds with itself. People do not want to throw the proverbial good money after bad, hence they question the idea of educating criminals on their dime. Yet, these same people want criminals to emerge from prison ready to re-enter society as law-abiding, well-rounded family guys. This simply cannot happen without remedial action. The public must keep in mind what John Asperian wrote in the Journal of Correctional Education. And he said, the education of offenders is not done for the benefit of the offenders, but for the benefit of the community. Another researcher describes most offenders to be typically male with little to no employable skills, poor self-concepts, and negative attitudes towards education. There may be some legitimate validity to what high school algebra students inevitably ask: when will I ever use this stuff again? This researcher asserts that offenders need life skills, basic math, writing skills, and language skills, skills necessary for finding jobs, maintaining those jobs, and establishing long-lasting personal relationships. One more piece of research with an interesting twist was also written in the Journal of Correctional Education Canada. Randall Wright examined essays written by offenders who entered a literary contest. Mr. Wright discovered an underlying attitude in the United States and around the globe that ties literacy to reward and punishment. This behaviorist style expects the student's behavior to be a direct result of an education chosen for them by someone else, as if the student had no legitimate input into his or her own education because they happen to be incarcerated felons/criminals. Such an attitude leaves out an important component that will be used in this evaluation to determine the extent of success or failure associated with changes versus GED programs. The opinions and attitude of actual student offenders gathered in post-prison interviews and questionnaires. What better way to learn which programs were most conducive to successful reintegration? By making such a determination, Wyndham can adjust programs appropriately, save money, reduce recidivism, reduce crime in the community, and give Texas state officials something good to report to their constituents, and ultimately please the people footing the bill. Thank you for your attention. Copies of this proposal, the evaluation impact model, and other pertinent information will be forthcoming. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at beeves2@lamar.edu. Thank you very much.